Thank you. This is for me?
Yeah.
It's very nice of you. This is a Mr. Rogers t-shirt.
There's the trolley. Hey.
Very nice. Thank you.
Here's a sweater and here's some shoes.
Okay. Did you bring some for everyone?
Yes.
Now that sort of thing, I was surprised to see that that ever happens. Much of that go on behind the scenes on your show? Goof ups?
Sometimes things don't go right in the neighborhood.
Welcome to the Rhythm Section, a Memphis music podcast produced by SRP Studios Podcasting, srpstudiosllc.com.
Catch new episodes every Thursday morning on Apple and Spotify, 6 p.m. Central on YouTube and Facebook, and 7:30 p.m. on radio-memphis.com.
And please follow us at therhythmsectionpod.com for all channel links and episodes. Welcome to the show, everybody. I'm Derrick. That's my buddy Jeff. And we have a special guest for our intro today. We'll explain why he's here in a minute, but first, ladies and gentlemen, the one,
The only,
Mr. Rocko Wallz, everybody!
Hey, everybody! Hey, everybody out there in Radio Land.
Everyone knows him. Everyone loves him. Rocko Wallz, bassist for Fevertree.
I don't know about the whole everybody loves me part, but...
Well, we love you.
Is it a beautiful day in your neighborhood?
It's always a beautiful day in our neighborhood.
Yes, that's what we love
Especially when you
about
got a trolley.
I've seen you grew your beard back.
Yeah,
that was
I did.
good. That was very shocking.
Yeah.
To those that follow you. Out of nowhere, you post a picture of your baby face.
Yeah, my son, he said he'd never seen me without a beard. You know, he's 17, and it's been 33 years since I've shaved, and he looked at me and he said, "Dad, you look like a thumb." So
You look like a thumb.
yeah, he said you look just like a thumb. So because of that and not having sex with my wife anymore since then, so I've had to have it grow back.
So why he's here is...
Who are you having sex with?
Well,
I mean,
let me introduce you. How you doing?
how you doing?
How you doing?
Yeah, so Rocko reached out to Jeff some time ago.
Yeah.
Us, and
Actually, it's been quite a while back, and I dropped the ball.
No, it's because you guys are busy.
As I do sometimes.
well, we made it happen. Rocko asked us if he could take his friend Ronnie. Ronnie, why don't you come just lean to your right here and say hello to everybody.
Say hey, Ronnie.
What's up, Ronnie?
Too good.
So your friend,
Hold on.
A little bit of a weight problem.
His chair had a flat.
your friend Ronnie,
She's got a flat.
Ronnie is interested in podcasting and wanted to come shadow and hang out. So I'm going to let him sit back and watch us do our tomfoolery here.
Right.
And then, so of course we loved that idea. And then it just worked out now. You're going to be, as we record this on the 16th, you're going to be part of the Lance McDaniel
Celebration of life for his dad.
for his father.
Yep.
So it
Billy
worked
Mac.
out perfectly. And, I guess originally planned was you guys were just going to hang out and watch us do that. I can't have Rocko in this room and not in front of a microphone. We wheeled his blind ass straight to it, placed it in front of his mouth.
Got taken out at the door by Jeff. You know?
Y'all try to fit through the same door.
No, that was Derrick. You just didn't
Oh, was
know.
it Derrick?
Yeah, you couldn't
Shit,
see.
I don't care. I can't see.
So, welcome to Hernando. Thanks for making the drive.
Yeah, man.
And how have things been for you, Mr. Rocko?
Man, it's been dark, but
Damn, didn't expect that.
so it's a blind joke for all you people out there that don't know. So
Yeah.
no, it's been going good, man. We've been Fevertree's been in the rehearsal room,
Nice.
working on some new music and trying different ways to get Tim involved in the band more.
Nice.
You know, so
Yeah,
Good.
he needs more to do.
yes, he does.
You need to keep him happy.
I try to, you know, he keeps me on a short leash still and stuff. And, you know, and I know John Patterson's been quiet for the past few days because there's been, you know, tornadoes out and everything. So,
Yeah.
It's blowing him around
right.
a little bit.
Wind advisories, you know, he has to stay indoors.
His ears are like sails, and they float away.
Yeah.
Scary's going to mess up his hair.
Yes.
And how's the one Italian stallion?
Living life, man. He's pretty. Always got a new guitar.
Mike Bertoldo.
Yeah, you can always tell when he gets a new guitar because he fixes his hair. Because he goes, let me show you my new guitar. And he holds it up, and everybody's like, oh, nice guitar. And he goes, now, wait a minute. Look at it with the wind blowing. And we're like, ah.
Does he show his guns?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
He doesn't even wear a shirt at rehearsal.
Oh, really?
No, he doesn't.
Hey, if I had guns, I'd show them to you.
Right.
Has Little Rocko made an appearance on any of Mike's guitars lately?
Yeah, actually, Amber, pull a picture up.
Oh, we have another. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
we'll pull
What
it
did I
up.
just
This
start?
picture, is it?
It's a new one.
Yes, Rocco's wonderful wife, Amber, is
Yeah,
with
she's
us.
here.
She's hiding off in the back here.
And Mike, this wasn't planned. I was kidding around, and of course, Rocko says, "Yep."
Anything I can do to bring new stuff in,
We love it. We love it. So, by the way, Rocko was on the show previously with Mike Bertoldo as a team, and then he came solo. It was an episode dedicated just to Rocko. He did not disappoint. He brought a pillow with him half naked on the pillow playing Mike's acoustic, right?
No, I think I was just naked. No, that was Tim Dills' acoustic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Tim one day said, "Hey, do me a favor. I'm going home. Take this with you and bring it to rehearsal." And I go, "Sure." And
How long has Fevertree been together?
with or without me?
With you.
With me, I think 6 years.
And people are sitting there going, "How the hell have they stayed together this long with this nutcase in the band?"
You know what it is? It blackmail. I've got tons of photos.
I get it.
In fact, John Patterson just seen one a couple of weeks ago that I took 3 years ago when he got a brand new snare drum. And John Ollis made him a beautiful snare drum, and it rained at the event where you're at, and he drove a truck. So he's like, "Just take all the drums and bring them to Memphis when you come back." And I said, "Yeah, no problem." And I went in there and took a whole bunch of pictures with his drum set, and I've never showed it to him until a couple of weeks ago. I was like, "Hey, remember that drum set?" And he's like, "Yeah." I said, "Hey, check out this picture."
oh, no.
Send those to Derrick.
Yes.
I will.
Yeah.
And then Tim got real quiet.
Yeah, Tim knows
And,
better.
and he looked at me and I said, "Oh yeah, I've got some." And I showed him a picture of a keyboard. He had bought this keyboard, and I had it for one day, and it's been 3 years. And all of a sudden, I said, he said, "You got the keyboard?" And I said, "Yes, I did. Here's the pictures." And he goes, "Oh my God."
I mean, you photobomb the instruments.
Yes, I do.
He's done more than that. He's photobombed motorcycles.
Oh,
Man, somebody would leave their bike at the damn clubhouse if they got too drunk, just left it there overnight.
Mm-hmm.
You think it'd be safe? No bullshit. The next day, all over Facebook, and everybody be spamming and be a picture of him or me and him. We'd just get naked and just take pictures with their bike. We wouldn't face each other, but you tried to, but I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't take my clothes all the way off. You would get butt naked, really weird about it.
You guys were gentlemen about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't get totally naked. I'd try to leave something on, and he'd just be totally nude, and it'd be kind of weird for a little bit. But we take pictures with motorcycles and anything they left over in the middle of the night.
that quote will live forever. We wouldn't face each other.
I wouldn't. He kept telling me, "Just turn around." I said, "No, I'm not. I don't feel."
I tell him, I said, "Just look at me in the eyes."
Yeah, I can't do it. I couldn't
Look
ever
me
do
in
it.
the eyes. Well, look, we got to do a quick ad break here. We'll come back to y'all. Meanwhile, Amber's looking for a photo that we must share here,
Lord.
Jeff. But first, let's try to pay some bills, right?
Yep,
All right. Looking for the best live music in Memphis?
I am.
Always. Steve Owens and the Musicians Booking Agency connect top bands with the hottest venues in town. Whether you're a band looking for gigs or a venue needing incredible talent, the Musicians Booking Agency has you covered.
Stay in the loop. Follow on Facebook at the Musicians Booking Agency for updates on upcoming shows and new artists. Memphis music starts here. Don't miss out.
Contact Steve Owens at 901-870-6846. All right, Jeff, kick it off.
Shows for this week. Wednesday, March 19th, Carlos Echoes Band at Hadley's at 7 p.m. Rest in peace, Junior Grant, 2022.
Yes, Steve wanted that included there.
I did not know, yeah.
Yeah, so prayers out to Junior Grant's family.
Absolutely.
Thursday, March 20th, the half of it at Roosters, 9 p.m.
Friday, March 21st, Basket Case at Roosters at 10 p.m. and the Fast Mothers at Neil's at 8 p.m.
Saturday, March 22nd, we got a handful here. Gen X at Hadley's, 8 p.m. Your mother's new boyfriend.
Your
at
mom's new boyfriend. Don't say mother's.
Oh, you're right.
Your mom's new boyfriend.
You don't remember my name?
Your Mother Dearest's new boyfriend. Sidecar Memphis, 7 p.m. Midnight Train, 10th inning, 8 p.m. Elevation Memphis, Tina Turner Tribute Experience. Neil's, 8 p.m. And rest in peace, Wayne Sweeney.
Yes.
2023 is when he passed. Again, thank you, Steve, for including Wayne Sweeney and Junior Grant here in the announcements.
Yep. You want me to do the next one? It's got your name on it.
Yeah, no, go for it.
Sunday, March 23rd. Pause for the cause at Neil's noon to 4 p.m. All proceeds go to Happy Dog Animal Rescue and the All Fours Rescue League. Bands will be Anna Rose Baker and Macy Pearson. I almost said Marcy. Sorry, I don't want to screw up names this early in the program. The Delta Project, Full Metal Racket, and Big Wheel closing out the night. $10 admission, $5 raffle for items donated from the sponsors. And it says flip page.
Yep.
I'm going to do that. Come together and make a difference in the lives of those dogs who need it most. Your support is very important. Memphis Unplugged at Roosters, 6 to 9. Unstoned. I haven't heard of that one yet. Have I? Is that a new band?
Yeah, Rob Cooley.
Oh, yes. Okay, at Hadley's, 5:30 to 9:30. And Grace Springs Fellowship with Mr. Morshak.
Yes.
Leading the charge.
Yep.
At Hadley's at 10 a.m.
And that is all Sunday, March 23rd. And then Tuesday, March 25th, Elevation Memphis Trio at Southland Casino, 6 p.m. start there. All right, DeSoto Local is a digital advertising network throughout DeSoto County. They have moved the outdoor billboard concept indoors to high-traffic areas, connecting local businesses to their customers through their network of indoor digital billboards in over 30 locations.
Their indoor billboards are in popular places all over town, from restaurants to gyms and doctor's offices to auto repair. You will be seen wherever your customers go. These screens display full-motion ads about the business hosting the screen, ads for local businesses in the area, and relevant local content.
And ladies and gentlemen, our ad is officially launched.
It is.
It's ready and it is out on the screens as we speak, and I'm going to premiere it right now.
Yep.
Check that ad out. I think it came out really good.
Yep.
So that's going to be on digital billboards throughout 30 locations throughout DeSoto County and some in Shelby County. We're so grateful for Brandy Faulkner for working this out with us as a trade. We love it. We're helping her. She's helping us, and it's a good thing. So please, again, advertise your business with DeSoto Local. Contact Brandy Faulkner today at 901-831-3212 and visit DeSotoLocal.biz for more information.
More Loud proudly pays tribute to the king of surf guitar, Dick Dale. Guitarist Jason Moore captures Dale's signature sound with aggressive, fast, and highly rhythmic playing, featuring rapid alternate picking, heavy reverb, and a powerful staccato attack that defined Dick Dale's sound.
In addition to honoring Dick Dale, More Loud performs instrumental rock and roll version classics like Smoke on the Water, Louie Louie, and House of the Rising Sun, all infused with that unmistakable Dick Dale energy.
Coming spring of 2025, More Loud will release his original EP, Louder Than Life. New singles Finish Line and Paradiso are out now.
Visit moreloud.com for music updates and more. That's moreloud.com. MOORELOUD.com.
Area 51 is one of the premier bands in Memphis and North Mississippi, bringing you songs from classic artists such as Autograph, Van Halen, Starship, and Kansas. Keep it Dewey and check out one of their following shows.
Friday, March 22nd, Lafayette's 9 p.m. and Friday, March 29th, Hadley's at 8 p.m. Follow on Facebook at Area 51 Memphis. Bands, are you ready to take your show to the next level? Well, David Griffin Audio brings big sound, bright lights, flames, and sparks to every event. From private parties to festivals, fairs, clubs, and even poolside and patio gigs.
Experience the largest QSC system in the area with David Griffin Audio. No job is too big or too small. Follow on Facebook at David Griffin Audio for updates.
Booking now. Call 901-299-1344 or email davidgriffinaudio@gmail.com. Rocko.
Yes.
Bring the energy. Bring the show. David Griffin Audio.
David Griffin Audio.
That's right, sir. All right.
I thought you were going to ask Rocco to read something. I was like, he can't see shit.
I was like, do you have it in Braille?
Sorry, man. Mr. Magoo is in the house. We want to talk about our guests for this interview coming up, and then we're going to circle back and finish this intro off with Rocko and Ronnie. Today's interview is Chris Goode and Daphnie Fletcher.
You will soon understand the intro soundbite.
That's right. Yes, there's a reason why we went with Mr. Rogers.
That's right.
Of course, they are Daphnie and Chris acoustic.
Yep.
But also the timing was great because fairly recently, Daphne now has joined Sold Out.
Yes.
As a 6th member,
Right.
lead vocalist, tambourine player, really rounding out their sound. So it was a no-brainer to get them in together. Let's bring through the names, Jeff. Why don't you hit some of the band names?
Well,
there?
sure. Daphne, of course, lead vocals. Chris Goode, he's guitar and vocals. James Ennis, guitar and vocals. Dave Pelletier, keys and vocals. I'm trying to be too fancy.
You know what? And I heard from somebody else that he might be from Maine, which makes sense. Pelletier is like Smith.
I got you.
Up there.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. And Greg Murphy, he's bass and vocals, and Mark Sansom, drums and vocals.
Yeah. So, of course, we talk about how Daphne and Chris meet and started the acoustic duo.
Right.
And then over time, Daphne was like, when the hell can I be in Sold Out, damn it?
Right.
And they finally came to their senses and made that happen. So there's a story behind all of that you will hear. Musical influence. You know, they both have, their people that they like. Daphne's definitely geared towards the high male vocals. That's what she really loves deep down. And she writes.
Yep.
She does some writing, and we found that she does some of her originals with Chris while doing acoustic. So it's going to be a great interview. But again, as promised, before we launch,
one quick thing.
Okay, Jeff.
I haven't seen an update lately on Facebook, but Daphne's child has been in the hospital.
Yes. So
we want to, again, give a shout out, prayers, well wishes for that. The last thing I saw was things were getting better, but I don't know if she's home yet or what's going on with that. So Daphne, we're thinking of you and your baby girl.
Absolutely. Prayers to you and your family. Hopefully things can get back to normal soon for y'all. Okay, one last time. Let's bring Rocko in.
Yep.
Rocko, what's going on, man?
Not a whole lot. Appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah.
Always.
So you're going to be a part of this celebration of life later today as we film this. You're getting up for a couple songs. Is that it?
Yeah. There was one song that back when me and Lance has played together for a long time. And if you've played together with Lance, you've played with Billy Mack.
Yeah.
And there was a song, man, that Billy Mack brought to me one time on the stage, and he's like, we're going to play this song, and I had never heard it. And Billy Mack was a big fan. He said it's a song called Little Lady by a band called Duke Jupiter.
Okay.
And man, never heard of it. But man, the only time you can really pull it up is you pull it up on YouTube. And it's got an old 80s vibe to it, and the video's awesome. And I played it every time I played with Lance and Billy Mack. And Lance called me the other day, and he's like, look, I really, really want you to come up here and play that song with me for my dad and stuff. And I said, man, I'd be honored to do it.
That's awesome.
Good for you, man. Thanks for being a part of it.
Yeah.
I never met Lance's dad, and was he sick for a while, or was this a sudden thing, his passing? I'm not familiar with the situation.
I don't want to get too much in detail in it. Billy Mack, Billy Mack's a legend.
Okay.
In the music industry, especially in the Northeast Arkansas, Marmaduke area, Paragould, Jonesboro, he's a legend.
Okay.
And there was never anybody that met Bill he didn't like. I mean, he's just larger than life. But Bill was he had a liver issue, had a liver transplant done years ago.
Okay.
It's been a while. And man, it knocked him down for a little bit. But man, he's tough, and he came right back and bounced. And he here lately he had fell ill in Jonesboro and stuff, and it went that route. But old Billy Mack, Billy Mack was with me when I had my heat stroke back years ago. Fevertree was playing in a town called Wilson, Arkansas. And we called it Mosquito Fest because it was insane, the mosquitoes there. But Billy Mack was running sound, and I brought we had a tent and a fan, and we always make sure we took care of Billy Mack because it was hot. And me and Bill was sitting back by the soundboard, and man, we were fine. And I looked at Billy Mack and I said, "You need something to drink?" And Billy Mack said, "Man, I'd love to have something, Rocko." And I said, "Well, I'll go back there behind the stage and get some." And I stood up, took about four steps, and hit the ground. And next thing you know, I wake up, and Billy Mack, he's on top of me going, "What happened? What happened?" I said, "I don't know." And he says, "Man," he said, "you look pale and you hit the ground." He said, "Look at you now. Get up." And Billy was he's larger than life. I mean,
what happened? Why did you pass out?
Heat stroke.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't know it. It was crazy. I passed out and got back up, and I thought my sugar was low because I'm diabetic, and I thought, I'll be fine. Like any man, I'm like, just get me somewhere. Yeah. Well, I went walking towards the stage, and Bill was walking with me because Amber was behind stage, with the drinks and Fevertree. We were going to play later.
Right.
And I ended up passing out again. I passed out 9 times before Fevertree got on stage to play.
And you still played?
Still played.
Yeah, that was not the smartest thing you've ever done.
Yeah, I had to do it, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we were on a contract, so I didn't want to disappoint anything. But
Didn't want to disappoint Tim.
Billy Mack, he's a legend, man.
Yeah, Lance, hopefully you're watching or listening. Man, you've been on this program. We loved having you here. We're so sorry for your loss. Praying for you and your family.
Absolutely.
And we love you, man. And it just words can't say enough. But I'm looking forward to getting there and celebrating. This has already happened by the time you guys see this. But Rocko and I will be at this celebration of life and do our best to celebrate Billy Mack.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah,
very cool. Yeah, man. Rocko Wallz. I mean, talk about legends.
Yeah,
legendary.
We have a living one.
Memphis' okayest bass player.
And Ronnie, thanks so much for coming and hanging out. We're going to hang out after the show here and talk podcasting. And Big Note music lessons.
Yep.
How about them? So, ready to play? I am. Big Note Music Lessons offers one-on-one and group guitar, bass, keys, drums, and voice lessons. Try a free lesson, no obligation, and visit BigNoteMusicLessons.com. Complete the submission form and start your musical journey today. BigNoteMusicLessons.com.
Radio Memphis. Start your Memphis day in the morning with Rick and Monica from 9:30 to 2 p.m. Central for a wild ride of fun segments like News from the Stupid, This Guy, That Guy, no, That Guy, This Guy, Crime Time, and more. Radio Memphis, where the planet tunes in to hear what Memphis sounds like. Radio-Memphis.com.
That's a totally different show.
Yes.
And thanks to everyone that's donated to the show. You can donate to our tip bucket by clicking our Venmo and Cash App links in the description, or search the Rhythm Section Pod on either app.
Follow us at therhythmsectionpod.com. There you will see our entire catalog of crazy episodes, including ones from Rocko Wallz and Tim Dills and all the guys in Fevertree.
Right.
It's all on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Facebook, and Instagram channels.
Yeah, so Rocko Wallz, Fevertree, working on new music.
Love it.
Man, thanks for coming again.
Thank
Good
you,
seeing
guys.
you again, my bud. We love y'all. We truly love y'all. You guys are the best. All right, and everyone, please enjoy today's interview with Chris Goode and Daphnie Fletcher.
Yes.
My dad, he wanted to call me or name me Johnny, but my mom wouldn't let him because that's how it's spelled, Johnny B. Goode, like with the E on the end.
Johnny B. Goode.
Yeah,
that would have been great.
My mom was like hell no,
You'd have been the most liked kid in school.
or picked on, one or the other. Yeah.
And that's the beginning of the show. Welcome to the show, y'all. We got Chris Goode and Daphnie Fletcher in the house, everybody. Yes. Welcome to Hernando.
Thanks for having us.
TRS Central.
You.
Yeah. So, Jeff, were they booked and canceled too? Were they booked once?
No, we didn't book you guys for last season and then have to cancel on you, did we?
Well, you booked us a month or so ago, and we had a gig or
Yeah, but that's not. Yeah, that's not what he's talking about, though. Yeah, so no.
So you canceled on us?
I think so. Yeah,
Man.
So, no, that's what it was. It was my wife's great grandmother's 99th birthday party.
Right.
So I could not miss that.
That's okay. We understand that.
Yeah.
99.
Yeah, she's still kicking. She's smart as a whip too. It's just impressive. Yeah,
That's awesome.
My mother-in-law's 92, and she lives with us. So
Is she driving still?
No, she's in the home, but she's still pretty sharp. Sometimes at times she forgets stuff, but she's a sweetheart though.
I'm glad
cool.
you said no, because now I can show this to my mother-in-law. If you just said yes, she's still driving, there's no way I could have showed it to you.
That's tough at that age. It's hard for me sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, good seeing you all. Glad that we finally made this happen. And it's good timing too, because we're here to talk about Daphnie and Chris. You guys have been doing an acoustic duo for some time now.
Right.
But now Daphne's part of Sold Out.
Yes.
Right? So let's celebrate that. Let's go. And so no better time to talk about that as well than now.
Yes.
So, all right, y'all. So you guys just told us you played just past Wednesday. Of course, we're recording this way ahead of time.
Great Scott!
But how did it go? Where'd y'all play?
Rotolo's East Memphis, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you guys, as the duo now,
correct.
you guys play there often?
We do all three of them.
Yeah, they have 3 locations: Carterville, East Memphis, and South Haven.
South Haven.
Oh, okay. Okay,
So
I was not aware of that. What are some of the other places y'all do the acoustic at?
Villa Castrati that's how
Villa
you pronounce
Castriati
it. Castriati,
and,
I always mess it up.
That's in Lakeland and Mississippi Ale House. We
Yeah.
do quite frequently.
I've seen you guys
and,
there because I
yeah.
live right down the street.
Yeah, outside, right? In the patio
Depending
area.
on the time, yeah. Sometimes we'll play inside or outdoors, wherever he wants us. And we've also played that place next door, the Cotton Gin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
The
we
Gin,
played there. Yeah.
And thank you all for working with the Arts Council.
Yes, those are great
You guys
gigs.
have done it twice now?
Yeah, fantastic gig.
Yeah, we love that.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it's the Back Porch Party. I think it starts in May through October. The first Friday of each month, the Arts Council has a back porch
Nice.
and some acoustic music and some food, and it's for anyone can go. It's free to anyone. You don't
really
have to be an
nice.
Arts Council member, but it's a way to promote the artists because there's a galleria in there, artists selling their local work. And thank you for supporting that.
No, thanks for
and
getting us the
doing that.
gig. Yeah, it was a fantastic time both times. It's laid back. Everybody has a good time. So.
We can get you in again this year if y'all want to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
do
it'd
So-
be great. Yeah.
And we've been so fortunate to play some really cool things.
Yes, we
We've
have.
done Bartlett Festival last year and just incredible.
As the acoustic duo?
Yeah, we did
Yes.
that, and we've done some private stuff. We're doing Sam's Town. We've done Sam's Town quite a few times, actually. It's a grueling 5-hour gig, but we get through it, and we're playing there again in March, I think. Yeah, it's hard on my fingers. I just bought a new guitar for that reason. I'm hoping it's going to help, but
And then you got Daphne hitting the
yeah,
cajon.
all
and-
night. Yeah, all night. So it's
5
it's tough.
hours?
Yeah, it's tough on
Yes,
us.
we've had bloody hands.
Yeah, 8 to 1. I
Dude.
think 8 to 1 or 9 to 2. one or
How
the
many
other.
songs do y'all have to?
Oh gosh, probably 50 songs or so, and we did it over Thanksgiving, 3 nights in a row, a couple years back actually. So it's a lot, but my fingers get calloused after that. But I just bought a hybrid to kind of help with that. I love my acoustic, but yeah, it still wears you down after a while. So
I don't like hitting a cajon for 30 minutes,
yeah, should have
much
bloody
less
fingers.
5
I
hours.
looked over him one time and my hand was bleeding. I said, "This is so metal." And that's awesome.
Yeah, well, definitely. Let's talk about your setup because you sit on a cajon, but then you also playing the tambourine with your foot, right?
One
Yes.
man band.
Yeah.
Yes, I played the tambourine with my foot, and I have it on a board. And someone, my friend of mine, did an overlay of acrylic on it. And I just love the tambourine slap on the floor. But everywhere you play, it's not a wood floor, so there's carpet, so it didn't get the same effect. So I put it on with a zip tie on this board.
Nice.
And he had the idea of putting a pickup in the cajon, so we rig it up to our sound system so we can
There you
control
go.
the bass and stuff.
That's
So
some
yeah.
thought. Yeah.
You know they do make a cajon pedal for
Yeah.
that will hit the cajon, and if I was going to play it as much as you do, I would have one of
Yeah,
those.
so that would act as like a kick drum.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
It'll save your hands.
I'm just so used to it
I
now,
get it.
and singing is just part
Yeah.
of it,
After a 5-hour night, your back must hurt.
Oh yeah.
It does. I have this cool cajon throne. It swivels.
Cajon throne.
It's a
Cajon
sponge. You
throne.
sit on it. I can't live without it.
Understand.
it's
But it
rough.
makes for a great full sound with just the two of you.
Yeah, she's
having
a
that
great-
percussion is huge.
Yeah, it's like she's a great timekeeper too. It really
Absolutely.
keeps me on track, and it
thank
works out
you.
good. And it's impressive because she'll be playing that tambourine with her foot, and sometimes it'll slide forward, and she'll pull it right back and never miss a lick.
That's
And,
great.
yeah.
I'm sure you've experienced that with kick drums, Jeff. Running
some,
from you.
Some will, and the pedal I use is really great because it has Velcro on it, so it'll stick to the rug, and then it clamps to the drum, so it doesn't move.
If the pedal's not moving, then
And
nothing else
then
will.
the drum won't move.
Yeah, man. At the time, I was playing with Elevation Memphis Tina Turner Tribute Experience, and we did the Wingfest last year, and they had nothing for the kick drum, and that kick drum kept running away
yeah.
from Kyla, and
it will drive
it
you
really.
crazy.
I felt bad for her because it was really bothering her. I mean, every song she's having to pull it back.
Yeah, that's tough.
And I was like, man, I'm sorry. You sounding great though, Kyla. You sounded awesome.
Oh, you can have some mess ups. You can wear the wrong shoe, and buddy, that thing will crash. And he look over, and I look at him. I'm sorry, yo.
The side eye, like, what are you doing over there?
Well, one of the first things I noticed when I saw you guys play in Olive Branch was your timekeeping. It's impressive. So
thank you.
as a
Thank
drummer, you notice those things immediately.
Sure, yeah.
And I'm just going, wow, she may have better time than me.
I don't.
That's
think
not
so,
good.
But thank you for saying
Why is that not good?
Yeah, it
That's
keeps me
awesome.
on track, that's for sure. Sometimes when I play and sing certain songs and certain phrasings, it's easy to get off sometimes, and having that to fall back on really makes a big difference. She's great at it.
So let's stay with the duo thing. Hey, how long have you been working together, and how did it begin? How'd y'all meet?
Oh gosh, that could go back to my musical career history, but I guess you could say back in 2020 during COVID, everything was shut down, of course.
Yeah.
So sold out. We didn't have a gig for like 6 months, and I was chomping at the bit. And a drummer that I used to play with in my first real successful band, John Boswell, he had posted an ad on Facebook saying he was starting a little side project and was looking for a guitar player. And I should have learned my lesson. I played in Thump Daddy for about 10 months, and it was just too much was sold out, and I had to bow out. My dad had just gotten sick too, but I was still like, yeah, let's do it, you know. So started playing, and that's how I met Daphne. And we practiced as the Daphs was the name of our band for, I don't know, about a year actually, and we almost got off the ground, but between sold out and with COVID stopping, and Adam Yancey, who was our male singer, he was a pilot. So between that, it just never really came off the ground. That's where Daphne and I met, and I heard her sing the first time, and I knew she had it, and she was pro, she was serious, and just a cool, laid-back person. And so once that disbanded, she played with us and sold out when Dave, our lead singer, sometimes he would get sick or couldn't make a gig, and she would fill in, and that just kind of led from, you know, one thing to another, and we started to do an acoustic act together, and we literally practiced twice, like for maybe an hour or two, and just took off running. And we've been really blessed. We've made decent money, played some cool places, and we keep getting asked back. So it's been a good experience. And please add anything that you can think of.
You got to say nice things about him now.
Right. No, he's an awesome timekeeper. I think I follow him. I think I listen for him to start the song, and then I fill in. I think that's how we roll. I think.
Teamwork.
Great.
Yeah.
So about 2021 is when you all start doing the acoustic thing together steadily?
I think,
yeah, probably so.
Almost 3 years now,
Yeah. I think the Tavern 018 in Cordova reached out to me and said, can you do an acoustic thing? And I said, you know, let me ask. And it worked out. It's been working out since. So, yeah.
Very cool.
Played
So
a lot of shows. Yeah.
I was completely out of the scene when COVID hit. So 2021, were bars really starting to open back up?
I'm terrible with dates, but I just know for 6 months there we didn't play. I can't remember what the year was exactly, but that's when we started rehearsing together, and then finally sold out. We started doing weddings around Hernando, and people were calling us super spreaders and all this stuff. You
guys are polarizing.
Yeah, so we started playing and getting out more and more, and that's when the Daphs, you know, I kind of felt bad because between that and Adam's pilot schedule, I just couldn't get off the ground. And I know John was frustrated, but it just how it worked out, unfortunately. But it was a good experience, and we were able to meet and start playing together. So
You guys are out weekly, pretty much?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. We played, between Sold Out and us, we played 67, 70 gigs or something like last year, I think.
Very cool. I mean, Daphne's like smiling, like, yeah, that's right. Own it. That's awesome.
Well, I learned your name through Pete Mendillo.
Yes.
Years ago. Pete knew that I was wanting to put a band together, and Pete sent me a PM on Facebook and said, hey, check out Daphne. And at the time, it was before we were doing this, and I didn't have connections. I didn't know enough people to put a band together, you know, but she and I spoke, and we were like, yeah, let's try to do something, and it just never materialized, you know. But then for Pete Mendillo to recommend somebody, you know, to me, that carries a ton of weight.
Sure. Yeah.
So how did you know Pete?
I think I just met Pete just going to a show, and I just introduced myself, and he was super nice, you know, just and I told him I was, you know, a musician looking to do something, and, you know, keep me in mind if you knew anything. And then he sent me your information. I still have the message. I've read some of the messages we wrote back and forth to each other. He was just a super nice guy.
Yeah,
just
he was.
Always willing to help out, you know, fellow friends and musicians. And
Absolutely.
Yeah, but you got lucky you didn't work with Jeff at the time. You escaped that one.
Thanks.
Yeah, Pete was a great guy. He was
Very cool. So now let's talk Sold Out. So you mentioned Daphne, you were filling in for Sold Out for a while?
Occasionally she would. I remember a couple gigs where Dave, you know, got sick last minute, which, you know, we've been together I've been with them for 14 or so years now, and that's going to happen occasionally where it's the last minute someone gets the flu or something, and called Daphne. She filled in for us at the Horseshoe one day, and then we did a three-day gig at Samstown Casino, I think it was, when Dave wasn't able to play around New Year's, and she was the lead singer the entire time, and those were 5-hour shows 3 nights in a row, and she killed it. And so everybody warmed up to her through that process and sold out. We move slow just because we've been together so long, so we don't really practice. So it took a while for us to finally be like, yeah, she needs to be in the band, because we don't even get together to rehearse.
Definitely. Like, finally.
Yes.
3-year audition.
Come on, guys.
Exactly.
What are we waiting for here?
Which is good, too, I think, because sometimes you need to, when you've been together that long, you have to really vet who you play with. I knew, but I just wanted them to know and to be comfortable. But so it worked out great.
I told him I wouldn't be an asshole. So.
Yes, well, she's just like us. She's laid back, so it worked out perfect.
Has she held that promise?
Absolutely, yeah. She's elevated us for sure, and the repertoire we can cover now is pretty much limitless, and it's just taking time because, like I said, we gig a lot and we don't have time to practice that much.
So let's talk the origin story of Sold Out. So 14 years. I had no idea.
Yes.
Wow. So let's talk about how this came to be. I have the names in front of me, but I don't know, maybe some have changed over the years. You're mentioning this lead singer I wasn't aware of. So
Dave.
So tell us about Sold Out.
Man, I think it's 2010 or 11. I was just dating my wife now, Kristen, and I remember I was in her driveway when I got a random call on my phone, and it was Greg Murphy from Sold Out, and he had talked to Al Johns, and I'm not sure if you guys have heard that name before, but he's big from back in the days. A lot of the older guys on the scene will know him. He fantastic guy. He was my first guitar teacher, actually, but he somehow got in touch with Greg, and Greg needed the lead guitar player and Sold Out. They'd only been together for a couple of years or so, I think, and they had gone through a player or two and never had anything solid. Al wasn't interested, but he said, I know a guy that will be. And so Greg just called me out of the blue.
And Greg is your bass player,
Greg's
right?
the bass player, yes. He's band daddy is what we call him.
Okay.
So, yeah, but it turns out he lived like 1.5 miles, 2 miles down the road from me at the time. So we started talking, hit it off right away, talking about PA and stuff. He loves PA, and I do too. And I went over and auditioned rather, and kind of the rest is history. And I'd taken about a 2-year break from playing. I started playing back in 98, 99, and have gigged constantly until now with like a 2-year break. When I graduated college, I bought a house. So my chops weren't where they needed to be, and I told the guys that. I said, I'll get better, I promise. And I like to think I did, but they hired me, and were really gracious for the first 2 or 3 years. So while I got my chops back up, but yeah, the rest is history. I'll just give them shouts out. Greg Murphy, he plays bass. He's a phenomenal bass player, a great piano and guitarist as well.
Okay.
And he runs all of our sound. I'd put him up against any sound guy in Memphis. He's phenomenal. He's like a father and a brother to me. We fight, but we love each other. James Ennis plays.
We know that feeling.
Yes, me and Jeff know that very well. Yeah.
Yeah, James Ennis is his best friend. They grew up together and played guitar together forever since they were young. He's also like a brother and a father to me. Funniest guy you'll ever meet. Super nice guy. I love him to death. Mark Sansom's our drummer. He's a pro through and through. He's toured. He's done it all, and you should have him on one day. He's got tons of stories from the road. But he's played with us for about 6 or 7 years now. Our original drummer, Wayne Welch, had to move off, unfortunately, also a fantastic guy and singer. So when he did and Mark came in, we couldn't ask for a better replacement.
Yeah, because he sings his ass off as well.
He's great, yeah, and he's pro through and through. He's the nicest guy you'll meet, and he's really elevated, and he drives our band so much
He
now.
hits those drums.
Yes. I think I have tinnitus or tinnitus, however you say it, in my right ear from him now, because he's so powerful, but he really has really boosted us with his playing. And then Dave Pelletier, I can't say enough about this guy. He's like a brother to me. He's the most talented musician I've ever played with and probably ever will play with. And to be as good as he is so humble and, the nicest guy in the world. And he's just a wonderful person. He's been with me through thick and thin, so I love him to death. But they're all wonderful guys, and it's something special to have been with these guys as long as we've had, because I've been in lots of projects, and to be able to stay together this long, it's definitely special, and I'm blessed and thankful every day I get to play with them.
So James, Dave, and Greg, were they the founders? Are they from day one?
Yes, especially James and Greg. They found Dave through a guitar player that they grew up with. My mind's going blank. Jake Mitchell. Jake's phenomenal. His son, Luke Mitchell, plays out too. You probably know him. Fantastic.
Yeah, Luke is the country player.
The guitar player.
Yeah, I've played with Luke.
That's right.
He's
a Contraband.
hell of a player.
They're phenomenal. Him and Jake both are phenomenal players. But Jake was in the band, and he had to bow out. But Jake was actually playing acoustic gigs with Dave and Miss Tennessee. They went on these USO tours or something, I think. Dave did, but that's how that all came about, basically. And so Dave found Sold Out, and they had a couple other guys playing that it didn't work out, and then they wanted to keep going and found me. So Sold Out has been together probably 17 years or so, and I've been in it for majority of that time.
Wow, that's a good run, man.
It has been, yeah. We've been blessed. We don't, get in the Memphis. We dabble in the Memphis music scene, but we're lucky to be able to do lots of private and weddings and stuff, and it's just kind of a revolving door.
Good for you.
That's awesome. And
nice.
word of mouth starts running.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So we're blessed with that. So we stay busy enough. We all have careers, but it's it keeps us busy. So
if you guys need a grunge act to open up for you,
a grunge act.
Yeah, man. We love playing with everybody.
Because you guys play Lafayette steadily, which I've seen you there a few times now, and most recently with Daphne now added.
That was my first time
that was,
every week. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Play with the band, the full band.
The night I was there?
That was
our
my
first
time
official night with
in Lafayette's with them.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's a great stage.
I remember the first night you saw us, I just bought that brand new wireless, and the very first song we go to play, it crapped out. And I'm like, this is great. Like the very...
I don't even remember that.
Oh, good. That's awesome then. Good. Never mind.
Only you remember.
Were you worried because I was there?
Well, I just knew you were there, and I'm like, anytime people I know that are in the music scene, it kind of makes you like, you want to sound good.
Oh,
like,
for sure.
It's
I wish I would have shit all over you on the show the next day. No, we don't do that.
But yeah, I was like, man, I was like, of all times, I think Josh was there too. I'm like, gosh, never fails, But
It does it when you're playing and you see other musicians out there.
it messes with your head, yeah.
You want to do so well.
Yeah, it elevates you though. It's a good thing. It's healthy.
But then when some things go wrong, you're like, son of a bitch.
Yes, it never fails, man.
So you finally hired Daphne.
Yes,
finally. Because Daphne on the side, as I got to know you just from going out and everything, you came to me. He's like, hey, she was like, I'm looking for work. If you know about anybody and everything, and now to finally see you in a band, because I know that's what you've really been wanting to do.
Yes,
I know the acoustic thing's been awesome, but yeah, you want to be in a band,
right? There's nothing like it, right?
Right. So now you're finally in one,
right?
And a really good one too.
What are some songs that you started doing because you now had a female vocalist?
Gosh,
because it must have just completely elevated your catalog.
Yeah. Daphne likes to sing guy songs that guys can't sing.
That's cool.
Bring it.
Yeah, AKA's like Steve Perry type stuff. So,
nice.
Yeah, so we're doing.
Oh yeah,
bring it.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're doing Only the Young by Journey.
Oh, I love that
Stone in Love.
Good stuff.
Like I said, we just started to. There's so many things we want to do, and we're just slowly adding songs in. I don't know what else you can think
it's
of.
hard when you stay busy to work on practices, and Dave lives in Jonesboro, so it's actually quite difficult to practice and learn new material. But we do Rolling on the River, Tina Turner, and that kind of stuff. And
so when I saw you all at Lafayette's, there were some songs that you were singing that you guys hadn't rehearsed. It was just do your homework and show up type of deal.
The first song, Only the Young, we rehearsed it one time, maybe once or twice, but we were doing some Christmas tunes too, so we didn't focus on it much. But yeah, a lot of times we do try to, wing it at first, and get through it and work.
If everyone does their homework, and you guys have been together so long,
it's the endings that get you.
It is,
that are tough sometimes, especially on songs that don't end on the record, so that can get you. But yeah, we do pretty good with doing our homework and not having to practice too much, but we do want to acclimate her to how we do things, so we have slowly tried to get in the room when we can and go over parts and vocals, especially since there's another layer. It's taken me where I don't have to sing some things as much, and she's kind of doing what I was doing, so she's getting used to that as well.
And working out new harmony parts.
Yes.
So how many shows before that Lafayette's debut for you?
3 or 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We played Neshoba, I think, and
another great venue.
What was our first live?
She played, like, her first gig with us. We had 3 weddings in 3 weeks, and she played 2 of the 3, I think, or maybe all 3 of them, I think. Yeah.
And the pressure is on at weddings.
Yeah.
You're typically getting paid very well,
right?
And you don't want to screw up somebody's magical day.
And when they ask you to do,
don't jinx them.
Yeah. And when they ask you to do the first dances, that's what's nerve wracking because we had to do. Was it not Landslide or was it Landslide?
It was
Landslide. Just the 2 of us. We had to do that, so that was nerve wracking as hell. And then we had to do one with Mark singing and all of us playing, and you want it to be perfect, so that can be really nerve wracking. But yeah, we broke her in with those first 2 weddings for sure.
Man, right out of the gates.
Yeah,
high pressure.
It was a lot of fun though. The crowd was into it. It was a lot of fun.
What was it like for you for the first few shows?
I didn't get nervous. happy to play with Chris, and he keeps me just like, what are we doing? He keeps me on track.
Right.
And depending on him to, what do we do? What's going on?
Right. Yeah. We communicate, make sure. Yeah.
Cool.
But it's cool. I'm very comfortable playing with them. They make me feel very comfortable, and do what I do. And I fit into them and find harmonies, and try to work on.
I think it's a great addition. So now you're up to 6 people?
Yes, yeah. So we're a big band for sure now.
Yeah.
But it's fun. We enjoy it.
Start asking for that pay raise.
Yeah, we have slowly. Everything's gone up in price. And people have not turned us down, luckily, yet.
Yeah.
So.
Well, you should. You should.
Right, I agree. Yeah.
For sure. Especially if the band grows, you can bring more. It's just a higher value band now.
Right.
For sure.
Yep.
We'll
absolutely.
have a business meeting here.
Yeah.
But Jeff talks about this a lot.
Oh, this is a topic that needs to come on the podcast. We need to do a full season dedicated to
full
this topic.
season.
Yeah.
It's not for the faint of heart, the music business.
No, not at all.
All right. Well, let's talk influences. This is always interesting for
sure.
everyone. So, ladies first.
Gotcha.
Daphne. So, who did you grow up loving?
I sorry, interruption. One question I have: do you play an instrument when you're with the full band?
No,
Okay.
I dabble with guitar, but I
Okay.
started playing guitar so I could write music.
Sure.
And I'm not very good. and I
Well,
sit
get
down-
on it.
She's good.
Get on it.
But
Yeah.
Good.
just little percussion stuff here and there. That's what I do.
I got you.
But,
Okay,
Played
sorry.
acoustics with us.
Didn't
I
mean
hope
to
I can play acoustic eventually.
deviate there.
Deviated.
Yep. All right, influences.
Influences. Well, I was sitting there thinking what I was going to say, and I was probably in my early childhood days, and I can remember sitting on the swing with my brother and my sisters, and we had the household stereo, and they played Another One Bites the Dust, and that changed my life of my little child brain or whatever, and I was bit by the rock and roll spider, and it just ran through my veins. And the second song was Raspberry Beret, and those two songs,
That's a good
There
one.
you go.
since I was a child, I don't know, they just changed me.
Queen and Prince.
There you
That's
go.
right.
Can't go
And,
wrong.
Two pretty damn good influences.
Right.
Yeah.
And it just stayed with me. And then I just had this hunger. And I don't know if that goes for everyone that loves music or musicians, but it just changes who you are. And it makes you just crave and want more and more. But
Was it specifically the vocals or just the whole vibe of those songs?
the whole vibe, the drive of the Another One Bites the Dust,
yeah.
and the lyrics of Prince and just his style, just unbelievable. And you know, and I just still to this day, if I hear Raspberry Beret, I never tire of that song. I just
Yeah.
love it.
I love
Were
that.
you singing growing up? Just like
My dad said I was singing in the crib, and,
Okay, good.
but I was very shy, so I kind of kept it like a secret that I could sing. And so I would sing in my room, and my parents would be like, "Turn off the radio," and it was me. And yeah, my mother was a musician. She played piano for church, and her whole side of the family is very musical and great talented people on her side of the family. A lot of them have passed, but a lot of talent on that side of my family. And she was very, adamant about singing in church and vocal
So you grew up
lessons.
singing in church?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and vocal lessons, and she put me in piano lessons, and I hated it. And I told the teacher, I want to switch to voice, which I didn't tell my parents until the recital. And they're like, now Daphnie Fletcher is getting up to sing. And they're like, what? What's happening?
We didn't pay for this.
Right. And then I sang, and they didn't say a word. So, then after that, it was on. My mother was like pimping me out all over town. Like, you're going to do this, and you're going to sing here. And but I was very shy.
I was going to say being shy and then singing at a recital must have been terrifying.
It was, and my whole family was there, and I was just like, but it was.
It turned on when it needed to turn on.
Yes, and still, like, I'm a very shy person. I'm, very introverted, but singing, I got it,
Well, thanks for doing this with us.
No, this is fun.
But
It's fun.
you hear that a lot from musicians. There are a lot of musicians that are shy or otherwise introverted.
Yeah.
And somehow music becomes that outlet to get your personality out there, and it works.
Plus, I feel like when you're on stage, because I have my shyness and anxiety too, you're on stage, it's your spot. You're in your element, you're doing a job. It's different. But if you send me into a room full of strangers and tell me to go mingle and make new friends,
Yes.
it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good.
Yeah, that's like I was saying earlier about having to present in front of people. It's not the same as holding your guitar. It's nervous.
It's like you're hidden behind it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like a mask.
Man, I struggled with stage fright for a long time. I mean, really bad stage fright. And early on, Derrick and I got the privilege of being at the Fevertree Tora show at Minglewood Hall, and Fevertree asked us to introduce them to the crowd. Thank God Derrick was able to do it, because I was standing up there just sweating bullets.
Jeff was like, "You handle it."
Yep, you got it, bro. I'm just gonna be the eye candy.
If it was 2 years earlier,
Yeah. Not happening.
3 years, yeah, it was podcasting even
Yeah.
before this show is what kind of helped me. So yeah, I had no issue going up in front of that mic, and actually I enjoy it.
I was petrified.
You didn't look it.
Yeah.
You didn't look it. There was a puddle of piss on the floor. But
Yeah, it's just like anything else. The more you do it, the better you get at it. I have to present a lot at work, and I hate it every time, but I feel like I'm getting better because I just have to do it, you know, and it helps, you know.
I couldn't let Rocko know I was petrified. That would have opened me up to all kinds of
yeah,
shit.
he would have made it known on stage.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So, any particular singers, though? I know you mentioned these 2 songs, and of course you got Freddie Mercury and Prince, but who's your top singer? Do you have some top singers that you really gravitate to?
Well, yeah, Robert Plant's my absolute favorite.
Nice.
Big Zeppelin fan. Steve Perry, and I mean anybody from Otis Redding to Amy Winehouse to Ann Wilson. I mean, there's so many wonderful singers.
I mean, right out of the gate, like Chris was saying, male vocalists, those really gravitate to you.
Yes. I mean, females too. You know, there's just so many talented people to choose from and inspirations. You know, but yeah.
Have you listened to any Journey after Steve Perry? Like, they've had several singers. Have you listened to any of those singers? Because one guy, Steve Augeri,
He's my favorite.
the guy's unbelievably good. He was in a band called Tall Stories.
I love that album. The first
But
one of them.
he did, in my opinion, he did as well as Steve Perry in Journey. And then, of course, they used Jeff Scott Soto for one tour.
He's the forgotten one.
Yeah.
Because he never did an album, right?
No, I don't think he did an album, and he really didn't fit that band.
No, he did a lot of stuff with Neil.
He is an unreal vocalist, but it just
The vibe
his
wasn't
style didn't really mesh.
there. Yeah.
Just like they used a drummer for one tour, Omar Hakim, and this guy is an unbelievable drummer, but with Journey, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff did some cool stuff with Neil Sean, Soul Circus. I don't know if you heard any of
I
their
have
stuff.
not heard
it's
that.
fantastic.
Okay.
I don't think they released. It's not released, but it's on YouTube. Check
I'll
it
have
out.
to
It's
check
good.
that out.
Yeah, he's a good singer.
And now, of course, they've got Arnell, who is
Yeah.
that kid just
I mean, at this point, he's
Killing
been in the band longer than Steve Perry, I think.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. And he's killing it.
Yeah,
You know?
it changed his life. One phone call just completely changed his.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I think they discovered him on YouTube.
Yep.
Right. He was singing karaoke.
Yep.
Isn't that wild?
Oh, no, he was in
Hard
a
Rock
cover
Cafe.
band.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a cover band?
Yeah, I think so.
But still.
And he didn't believe it when the phone rang, and I think he hung up on Neil Sean a couple
Yeah,
times.
who would?
Whatever, man.
Of course, Jimmy Fault would never hang up on Neil Sean. They get along famously.
You ever hear Dean Castronova, their drummer? His singing is unbelievable.
Dean
too.
is unreal.
I know he does fit.
Yeah.
Oh, his drumming fits, his vocals fit. He's great.
He sounds like Perry more than Arnell sometimes.
I was actually disappointed when Dean had his issues with
got
drugs
fired,
or whatever. He got fired,
Glad
and
he
they
came
brought
back.
Steve Smith back. And since Steve Smith has been gone from the band, he has become much more of a jazz player.
Right.
And I didn't think he fit the band anymore when he came back.
That's
now,
sacrilege, man.
Brandon
He's
Marlier,
the author. He's the author
Yes, he is.
of the quintessential drum parts.
And Brandon loves Steve Smith. And I think Brandon wants to choke me every time I say this. But I couldn't wait for Dean to get back in the band.
yeah.
And
He has
he's back
something
now. And
different.
he's just great.
All right, Chris Goode.
Goode.
Who did you grow up liking?
Yeah, playing my first 3, I guess, were Clapton, Hendrix, and Steve Ray Vaughan when I first started.
Blues.
Yeah,
You never know.
liking
You
that
never know
blues
you were a
stuff.
guitarist.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, exactly, especially Clapton, But once I kind of graduated from that, I guess I listened to it all. I switched over to Satriani and Vi. And
There you go.
You took a leap.
Yeah, man, and Vi will always be my number 1 guitar player. It's just, he's out there, but like
Agreed.
it speaks to me.
Went from the blues pentatonic scale to everything else.
I didn't say I
Did you
could
get
play
to
it.
see Steve Vai at Minglewood?
Yeah, I got to see him, and I met him
What a great
before.
show.
He actually signed, I have one of his signature guitars, and he actually signed it for me. I got to meet him at.
Nice.
He played as a New Daisy for one of his albums, and I got to go
Nice.
backstage and hang out, and it was fantastic. It was
Yeah.
great. But yeah.
And Passion and Warfare changed me.
Oh, me too. Yeah, it's like I said, his stuff is out there, but it speaks to me. And from there, the last decade, I've really been into Steve Lukather and Neil Sean. And Steve Lukather is phenomenal, but his playing is so jazz based and out there sometimes that it's hard to emulate, where Neil Sean, his approach is a little more traditional and melodic, which is kind of what I like. And I try to emulate his sound and his delays and stuff. I love that tone. A lot of people don't, but I love that. So that's kind of been my two in the last decade or so.
Did you see him at FedEx? Was it 2 years ago? It was Toto and Journey?
We actually went to I couldn't see him there, so Dave, our keyboard player, and I and our wives, we went to Little Rock and saw them there instead. And I've seen Journey 2 or 3 times. I saw them when they were at the Snowden Grove, and they were great there too. So.
Thanks to Jeff, we went to see that show at the FedEx Forum. It was great.
Yeah,
it was really cool.
Yeah, they're a great band to see live.
And they're coming to Nashville.
Are they? Okay.
Toto
and Chris Cross. Yeah, I think we're going to go see that.
Men at Work.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good show.
Right. I think it's in August. I think we're going to check them out. So Toto's great.
So what made you shift from those original influences to the more instrumental stuff? You just loved that guitar.
I guess, like I can say, you feel like you graduate from that. Like after a while, I got tired. I don't even care if I hear another Hendrix, Clapton, or SRV song again in my life. It's like you play it through your head so much that you're just like, okay, time to move on. But with Satriani and Vi, I don't know. It's something about their playing, especially Vi. Like I said, that I never get tired of it. So I constantly go back to that.
Have you pitched Vi songs to Sold Out?
Oh, dude. Hey, I didn't say I could play it. I can't even play that stuff hardly. But I take bits and pieces and kind of add it to my style. So, but I just love his playing style, and he's a really intellectual guy too. I like listening to him just talk about stuff in life in general. Really smart dude. But so just kind of graduate from one. Your taste changes as you progress musically, or mine has. So I've just moved on to other things, but they'll always be in my heart, of course.
Yeah, I have plenty of phases throughout.
Yeah, exactly. You know how it is. So that's kind of where I'm at right now with Sean and Lukather especially. So
how do you feel about guitar players like David Gilmour?
I love that stuff.
The less is more guys that just sing with their guitars that way.
I totally agree, because I've never been a shredder or a fast player, so I think that kind of stuff definitely has meaning to it for sure. And I do try to learn from it. But Neil Sean, he can do those flurries of all that crazy fast stuff, but his melody and the way he plays and the way he approaches his bends and technique is so different. But I can kind of copy some of it, so I kind of lean toward that.
Neil Sean, like all these great guys, have signature parts, like things that you can just you remember forever.
And that's
the melodies.
That's what makes him a good guitar player. You don't have to be a guitar player to understand and appreciate it, because everybody remembers those things. So I try to approach it that way. That way, maybe they'll think that about me one day.
Just like Jeff's favorite guitar player, Kurt Cobain.
Great player.
No. We need to get back on Yngwie, Vi, Satriani, and Eric Johnson. Those are my 4
Eric Johnson
horsemen.
Oh, do you follow him at all?
I do like him. And speaking of Eric Johnson, you guys know who Chris Lovell is?
Chris Lovell.
That sounds familiar.
Okay, I can't take credit for this. My wife had the idea, but he used to own strings and things in Memphis.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, he sets up my guitars, and I was over there the other day. His house is like a rock and roll museum, but he was talking to me about Eric Johnson and meeting him and talking to him. He's met everybody and has pictures of everybody you can imagine. He is a treasure trove of information. So if you ever want to have an awesome podcast, he's a sweetheart too. So I would suggest getting him on.
Write it down, Jeff.
Yeah, man. He is like I said, a treasure trove, and everybody in the Memphis music scene from the past will know strings and things, and he's a sweetheart. So I would definitely get him on this show. He's great. So
Chris, you are a sweetheart. You have talked so good about everybody on here, and you haven't said a bad thing about anyone.
Can I tell him your nickname? I call him Rock and Roll Mr. Rogers.
Yes. I guarantee the guys in Sold Out would disagree with that. I've been
Rock and Roll Mr. Rogers.
He did change. He took it off his cardigan. He took his sweater vest off. He changed his shoes when he came in too. I was wondering why. I was like, why are you changing your shoes?
That's the guys. That's the guys.
It's a cardigan.
It's like cardigan.
He loves that nickname.
That's great.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like you all have fun together. Sounds like a good group of guys. And it shows when I see y'all play. You guys are having fun and just in it. And I'm shocked when I hear you guys say you're kind of nervous.
Yeah,
at Lafayette's and some of these bigger shows. Doesn't look it at all.
Good. Yeah, just I'm something about. I don't know how long I've been playing 25 years out, and I still get butterflies in my stomach sometimes, even over simple gigs. It's just in me, and I think everybody does at some high pressure gigs. But we've been doing it long enough. We go out there and do our job. So
that's awesome.
If I'm nervous, it's because of my memory.
Yeah, that
and getting the songs right. That's been my issue lately.
This podcast has helped me get over nerves because it's like if I'm this big of an idiot on the podcast,
Right.
I get on stage to play. People already know I'm a dumbass.
Oh, you just got to say whatever sometimes.
But our audience is very forgiving of this.
Yeah.
But dropping a awful bass clam
It happens.
fart.
Oh yeah, man, it happens.
Not as forgiving. It's embarrassing.
You know Billy Sheehan, the bass
Oh,
player.
of course, yeah.
He says if you think, you stink, and I believe that too. Because if I think too much about a solo that's coming
Totally.
up, and I'm like, oh my gosh, here it comes. If I think about it, I will screw it up every time. But if I just like let it go and just it's that muscle memory, and you won't do it.
What's it like being? I don't want to say you guys are a wedding band, but you guys are definitely a band that people go to for their wedding. What's it like? Like, you said you have to play the first dance song. What is some of like the formatting of being a wedding band, or is it pretty much the same? You go up and you do 2 sets, 3 sets. What's it like?
It's different for everyone, but luckily we've never had a bad experience. Some weddings we play, they're a little more strict, I guess you can say, and like we've had a few that are bridezilla or whatever. But yeah, like before, but it's always before.
You gotta watch out.
Yeah, it's always beforehand. No one's been mean or rude to us, really. It's always beforehand. They're just nervous and they just want to make sure everything's perfect. But when the time comes, more times than not, everything goes smooth. And
once the drinks start flowing,
everybody's cool. I will say a funny story. James and I, last summer, I believe, we had to run sound for the ceremony. And anytime you have to do that, it's nerve wracking. We have a Bluetooth speaker and lapel pin and all that.
Right.
Well, we get there to start setting it up, and this lapel pin is picking up truck drivers on their CBs.
Oh no!
And like they are walking down the aisle and stuff, and like about to start, and like people come up to us, everything okay? I'm like, yeah, we know what we're doing, but it's like it ain't our fault, Luckily, that all went away literally like a minute before the.
All of a sudden, Burt Reynolds is on the CD.
Yes, so that's the most nerve wracking part of the entire wedding.
Truckers aren't known for their nice language.
Right,
that could have been
exactly.
awful.
Give me a Diablo sandwich to go and make it quick. I'm in a goddamn hurry.
F-bombs flying left and right. Oh, yeah, that's tough because, like you all have said, Jeff mentioned too, this is a very special day for Bridezilla, as you said.
Right, yeah, it's always the first dances, even if you play them on your phone, just making sure they're in the right order, they stop at the right time, and nothing, you don't get a text, you turn it on airplane mode, but you never know what can happen. The cord could go bad, so you always want to make sure all that stuff goes perfect. And then when it comes time to play, it's usually more laid back to me than a bar or a normal gig, so that usually goes smooth. But it's always the build up to that and doing the ceremony and all that. That can be the part you're ready to get over with. But then after that, it's usually better hours and it's definitely better pay. And then
for sure,
it's travel, so it's usually an all day thing. But we get compensated for that. But yeah, we've already done. We have like 5 or 6 on the books right now, and we did a lot last year. I can't remember how many we did, but we've been lucky with that.
So the weddings that you did, Daphne, they go well.
Yeah, I think they went pretty well, and people were dancing, and that's all you can ask for: smiles and dancing.
One
good
of
times.
them was like 300 people. It was absolutely humongous. Yeah,
awesome,
big old auditorium.
So let's shift gears a little bit back to Daphne. You mentioned earlier you started playing acoustic to write. So is this something that you do regularly? You like writing music?
I do. And I don't stay current on music because I like to keep my brain free of, melodies and and just he's really dives in and he's like, listen to this, and I try to stay
weird stuff.
Yeah, no, I like it because I like it exposes you to different things you wouldn't have known about. But I try to keep my mind clear of that so I can sit down and write. But as a young teen, I was moody and I loved poetry, so I would write. But I didn't realize I was writing song lyrics. I just thought I was writing poetry. But I love that stuff. I love poems and I love written words and phrases of saying things differently. And I just love to write music. And we actually have
So do you do your stuff for the duo stuff?
We do. We have 5 or 6 songs that are finished, and a few more of them are probably going to get in the recording studio and make an
I would
album.
say that was my true passion, is the songwriting and the creating. Yeah, I absolutely love that.
So do you play the acoustic live? Do you ever gig playing?
She has played live, and I'm going to get her to do it more and sold out, whether she wants to or not.
Right.
Sure.
'Cause that's what makes you better, getting out there and doing it.
But adding an acoustic to the mix,
Yes.
fill it up.
Right.
And it's a little less scary not doing it solo.
Yes.
or even duo would probably.
I did do an
be
open
more
mic night once, and I did take my originals,
play.
and I played 3 songs.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Good
I thought I was
job.
gonna
Could you play
stroke out.
acoustic, sing, and the tambourine?
No, that would be
and-
amazing,
for
and I've
real, with
your
tried,
foot.
but yeah, that's too much right now. I can barely, like my 4 chords I know, right?
No, she's really
Hey,
good. She's good.
4 chords is all you need.
Right.
Some of the biggest hits in history have been written with
Right.
3 or 4 chords.
man. Hit that minor chord, and then you're good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, I've also seen you out in the wild with Keith Blanchard.
That's right. It is
Oh,
wild.
that's
Is
got to
it-
be
yeah.
a hoot.
So what's that like?
No, he-
Is that when Chris isn't available?
That's exactly right. Yeah. Yeah. Keith and I go way back too. Keith.
Keith goes way back with everybody.
Yeah, he's awesome. He's the guy you call too.
Yeah.
Just say, come on.
Yep,
He's
yep.
he's an encyclopedia of songs. So
Yeah,
I'm
he's
sure.
a good
he-
guy.
Yes. No, he's a good friend, and I've met him through open mic as well.
Cool.
And no, he's just all around good guy, and just you say show up, he's like, what time? He's just that guy. So and
Well, do you write it all, Chris?
I do. I have some songs I've written in the past. Actually, that 2-year period I was talking about when I quit playing music and I bought my first house, my best friend and I, Michael Wright, we wrote a ton of material and recorded it. It's all this weird Frank Zappa stuff, but yeah, I mean, I have written some in the past. I have a few songs that I might add to our list to eventually record, but I'm a terrible lyricist, so it's more riffs and song.
Well, I think you have a great lyricist you can collaborate with.
She doesn't give herself enough credit. She has tons of songs that she sent me lyrics, and they're all
I
phenomenal.
bugged the shit out of him.
No, it's great.
Listen to this crap.
No, it's great because it takes a lot of courage to do that. A whole lot of courage.
Oh, sure. You're really putting yourself out there.
Yes,
You are.
and that's
Big time.
It's admirable, and so and she has really good lyrics. So
thank
it's something that
you.
needs to get out there to the world. So I'm passionate about it too. So.
All right, let's bring it.
So when you guys you talked about going in the studio for her originals,
Right.
are you doing that as a duo, or are you taking guys from the sold out to go in the studio and play it full band? How do you do that?
I don't want to speak for you, but I think it would be good to have a little bit of both. Actually,
Yeah.
like to do some stuff more intimate acoustic, and then actually have full production on certain songs that it feels like it'll fit, and maybe have 7 or 8 songs total.
Great.
And actually do it the right way. Go in and pay a real studio, and have a real product to put out there.
Absolutely.
Well, let us know when you do it.
Yes,
Yeah, we'd
sure.
love to. We'll play your stuff on the show and
absolutely. Yeah, thank you.
do anything we can to help.
Well, this has been fun, y'all. I hope your nerves have calmed down.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Good. That's our goal.
Hope you are glad you did this.
Make it as
Very
silly as
glad.
possible.
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
it's been
And
fun.
God, we have a long list of people that we want on this show, and by all means, you guys were on it.
Thank you.
For sure.
Like I said, Chris Lovell, he'd be fantastic to have on here. And Mark Sansom, he's a character, and he's got tons of road
Yeah.
stories he could tell you.
Oh,
Oh,
sure.
we'll eventually get to every member of Sold Out.
Awesome.
I mean, this is
Good.
we have said this so many times. We can do this for the next 10 years
Yeah.
and not
It's
get to
endless.
everybody.
Yeah.
Dave, he's played with everybody you can imagine too. He's opened up for big acts like Keith Urban and
That's
other people.
awesome.
He's toured the world actually, so he's a great
Man,
you know,
that's the kind of stuff we want to hear about.
Yeah.
We've had Debbie Jameson in here. Her history is unbelievable, and Greg Redding is another one with a long history. And you just learn about people who've been in this scene
sure.
since for 30, 40 years.
We had to give Greg 2 episodes.
Yeah, yes, we did.
When the first one ended, Mike's off. I'm like, dude, we got to do this again. We left too much on the table. And he's like, I'm in. So we had him come back because there's,
awesome. Yeah.
there's a lot of stories to be told. And then there's even more. He could probably do 5 more.
Right.
Easy, But, well, thanks again, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, once more, we got Chris Goode, Daphnie Fletcher.
It's not Chris Goode. It's just Chris Goode.
Chris Goode?
Yeah, just say it normal.
Say it normal. What about me is normal?
Nothing.
Ever. Follow us at the Rhythm Section pod.com. There you will see our entire catalog of episodes and links to our YouTube, Apple, Spotify, Facebook, and Instagram channels.
Yeah, thanks to our sponsors. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor, you can email us at the rhythmsectionpod2022@gmail.com or reach out to us on Facebook.
And thank you to all who have donated to us. You can donate to our tip bucket by clicking our Venmo and Cash App links in the description, or simply search the Rhythm Section Pod on either app.
Yeah, and catch Rick and Monica in the morning, Monday through Friday, 9:30 to 2 p.m. Central on radio-memphis.com.
One last time, Daphne and Chris in the house.
Thank you, guys.
Yes.
for having us.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah.
So much fun with y'all. We're going to do it again when you release your original album.
Right.
Right? And
do it.
Jeff, whatever.
Yeah, and you guys get out and see a band and catch these guys as a duo or
Sold
catch
Out.
Sold Out as a full band.
Yeah, sorry, y'all. Take care.